Hello, everybody. Good morning. You're welcome to London session early morning recap brought to you by Trading Pro Nigeria. As we all know, Trading Pro has been in the business for the last 7 years, and we offer very, very fantastic accounts for beginners, like our rookie account, swap-free account, and we also offer in-house trainings. We're currently running the physical training at our office at Allen Avenue. And we also offer online trainings for advanced every Wednesday for the month of May, between the times of 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. West African time. And we also offer communities where we offer, like what you're listening to, reviews going into the sessions for New York, for London and New York, and where we also share trade ideas and trade signals. So it will be a wonderful opportunity for you to come on board and take advantage of these opportunities. Lastly, did I also forget to mention that for those of us who don't have time to trade but would want to partake or have a side income, we also offer copy trade services and palm management services. So I look forward to hearing from you. So without taking so much of time, let's start off with our economic calendar. Today being Friday, we have British pound GDP by 7 a.m. By 1:30, we have employment change for the Canadian dollar. And by 3 p.m., we have prelim UOM consumer sentiment on the dollar index, and the day will be calm throughout. So without taking so much of our time, we're going to start off with the US 100, the dollar index, EURUSD, GBPUSD, gold, EURGBP, pound yen, and euro yen. So we're going to start off with the US 100. So looking at the US 100, we're going to start off from the daily perspective. On the daily, this looks like an impulse and a retracement, a deep retracement into this area that was used to break this low. So on the daily, this is a retracement in a down move. If we go down to the 4-hour time frame, all we have is that price is still within. We have this smaller other block, very shorter block here, that price is within. As you can see, price has not been able to take out the high. If we go down to the 1-hour time frame, we first had the initial break of these lows, retracement, price didn't make a new low, and price is rallying back. So looking at this, it seems to be in a range. Price seems to be in a range between this high at 18,154.2 to this low at 17,967.0. So that's where we have price. So for this pair, you just trade the range. If you look at this area first, you can see price has failed to close above that high. And we also have this high here. So you'll be waiting to see what price does here. Maybe something like this, sweep this, come back down, and then move down to this low first before this low. So for now, the US 100 is neutral. It can move in any direction, but the setup is pointing to possible rally to move lower. But for now, we wait to see a setup before taking action. The next way we're going to be looking at is the dollar index. Looking at the dollar index, we start off from the daily. If we look at the daily, this pair is bullish. On the daily, it's bullish. But on the 4-hour, we have a bearish situation. I pointed out yesterday in the New York session outlook that we have price within this structure point here, and there's a possibility that price is going to drop. So if we look at where price has dropped now, there's something I want to point out on the daily. If we look at price now on the daily, there's what they call an inverted fair value gap. We have here, and that's where price is currently at the moment. We have this fair value gap, one candle down, one candle up. So price has come into that area and price is moving away. But if we go to the 4-hour time frame, price is at the upper. Good. You can see price is closing above it, probably retracing to test it and move higher. But the 4-hour is still slightly tilted to the downside, although price is bouncing from this bullish other block. The momentum is not that strong. So we'll wait to see if price can take out this high. If price does not take out this previous day's high, that is our 105.74, it may still move to the downside. We might see price still move to the downside on this pair. So let's go down to the 1-hour time frame. If we go to the 1-hour time frame, we don't have the first sign that this is about to turn is if price removes this other blocker. Once we have that, we're going to wait for something like this, then a retracement. But I'm still tilting that price on Friday, that's for today, may move to the downside before continuing to the upside. That is as long as price stays below 105.74. On the 1-hour, we're still looking at a bearish structure on price. We're still looking at a possible bearish structure on price, except, like I said, price removes this other block, then we might see a deeper retracement into London and New York before the news comes out. So the next pair we're going to be looking at is EURUSD. Looking at the EURUSD from the daily perspective, this pair is bearish. If we look at it from the daily perspective, we have this high, this low, and this. So this is the impulse, this is the retracement into this broken range in price. But yesterday closed as a bullish engulfing. And if you notice, it's within the body of this long wick bullish candle. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 days within the body of this candle. Price came down slightly to the low, tapped it and bounced. So basically we're in a range, but slightly tilted to the upside. It's clearer on the 4-hour. When you come into the 4-hour, you can see that price is slightly bullish on the 4-hour. We have this high, this low, a break. So this might just be a retracement and a possible continuation. So looking at where price is now, we had this range on the 4-hour, price swept the low and came back inside the range. So that might point that liquidity here has been swept, and the possibility exists that if this 4-hour fair value gap should hold in price, price might continue to the upside. So I will be of the opinion that we might see a move lower and a continuation to the upside. So for now, on the lower time frame, the best bias on this pair is a sell to buy. As you can see, this other block here is holding price. If you notice, the same thing too is on the dollar index. Also, if the euro removes this, then we might see a move into this area before a continuation to probably sweep these equal lows, equal highs here. So that's it for the Euro USD. The next one we're going to be looking at is the GBPUSD. Looking at the GBPUSD, it's weaker than the euro because of the strength in the EURGBP. If we look at this on the daily, we have price reacting overnight that's tapped into this daily fair value gap, the consequent encroachment, and there's a reaction from it. If we go down now to the 4-hour time frame, price has swept the previous week's low and bounced, but it didn't have much move to remove this structure point here. So pointing to this, if the dollar index should start to gain strength, this might be a better option for a short. This might be a better option for a short. Because as you can see, it's really moving lower. Compared to the euro, this would be a better option for a short. So what you'll be waiting for is something like a proper displacement below these structure points here, especially this, a pullback and a move lower in price. Next one we're going to be looking at is gold. Gold played out as outlined yesterday in the review. Start off from the daily. Price is now at the consequent encroachment of the daily fair value gap, but it's still bullish. It's still very, very bullish. Price has broken out of a range. Let me pull back my drawings. Oh. There was a range candle here. There were two range candles to be precise here. We had this week that had price 1, 2, 3, 4. Price tapped the low and rallied, and we had this bullish candle that had this within its body. So if you notice, when price broke out of it, there was a sharp retracement into this other block, and they rallied to the upside. So for now, this pair is still bullish. You'll be looking to buy into dips on this pair, provided you don't have a bearish reversal formation. That's something like this, a break of the low that took out the previous high, then something like this. But if you don't see this, the best bet on this pair is to look to buy into any of these bullish fair value gaps that hold as support for price. The next pair we're going to be looking at is EURGBP. The EURGBP is still bullish for now, but it seems to be drawing back on its momentum. So what's the implication of this? If it should start to draw back on the momentum, that is going to give pound strength. And as we know, we have pound gross domestic product news by 7 a.m. So if this should weaken, what you're going to see is what the Euro USD, the rally, and the dollar still remains weak. That's if the Euro GBP should drop and the dollar remains weak, this move on the Euro USD, you're going to see it happen on the GBPUSD. It's going to be clearer on the 4-hour, so that's a caveat. So we need to be aware of that. You see this massive move on the 4-hour for the Euro USD. If the GBP news comes out positive, you're going to see a very strong rally on this pair. You're going to see a very strong rally on this pair. But for now, this pair is within a range. It's like at the bottom of a range low. I forgot to mention that here. That's this bullish bearish 4-hour candle had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's a break. So this might be a retest of that break to move lower, but that would depend on what the news by 7 a.m. offers. So if that news comes out negative, this is going to really drop. Well, if that news comes out positive, this might break back into the range. As you notice, Euro USD broke back into its range. So the Euro GBP, like I was pointing out, will be waiting to see it being capped by this 4-hour fair value gap. So if the news comes out, let's go down to the 1-hour. If the news comes out and breaks this low, then we might see something like this, and then move lower in price. But for now, price is sitting above a daily fair value gap. So once price moves back below this fair value gap and doesn't bounce from this other block, it might move lower. So the next pair we're going to be looking at is pound yen. These pairs are they're just gradually retracing. They are still in a retracement because if you look, we have the break of this low, but we have a 4-hour range candle in this candle here. It has held price. You see price didn't close significantly below its low. So I'm of the opinion that price may be trying to, if this 4-hour fair value gap fails to hold price, then you would expect price to first gone for this high at 195.76, then the range high and this other block here. So if we go down to the 1 hour, what is going to tell you that this move is about to turn? If you get something like this up here, or you get a strong displacement below this low, you wait for something like this and a move lower. Those are the two setups you wait for. Then the last but not the least, the euro pound. The euro pound is still bullish for now. It's still moving higher. If you notice, its range, it didn't close below his range. So we're within this body of this big bearish candle. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 days worth of activity within one candle. So it's in a range, but the range is tilting continually to the upside. But structure-wise, it's bearish because this impulse move broke this low. So this is going to be like the protected high here. So we'll be watching to see what price does at this 4-hour fair value gap. If it gets rejected here, maybe something like this, then you can take a short position down. But for now, this pair is still moving to the upside. So that does it for this early morning recap for your London session trading for the New York and for your London session trading brought to you by Trading Pro. I hope to see you all again at 11 o'clock during the New York session outlook. Thank you all and have a blessed London session and a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.